Welcome back, everyone. Today we are going to be playing a game called Judge Sim. We're going to be a judge and we're going to be putting justice down on some awful people, I'm assuming. Although I do feel it's very important to follow the laws of the world, my guild does happen to get in a lot of trouble with them quite often. So we're going to see what it's like to be on the other side of things for once. Hello? I have mail. Dear Erza, you were appointed as a judge. Just like that, apparently. Week 1, Case 1. All right. Your Honor, first of all, as the Ministry, we wish you success in your new position. We wanted to remind you of the details that are important to you to make a correct judgment. You can find the evidence in the evidence file. Case file includes contents. You can ask some questions to defendants by clicking the microphone. The tablet, you can access digital evidence. Law book contains the rules and penalties for crimes. You need to make sure you make the right decision. Finally, you'll make your decision. Remember, your decisions will have consequences. Making wrong decisions in law book cases will cause your bars to increase. How full your bars are affects the probability of getting a 12 on the dice screen after each case. Therefore, remember that the game can end even if your bars are not completely full. All right. Hello, sir. Harris, is it? Violation of restrictions. The incident began on a night when curfew was in effect around 1:45, when patrol units noticed a suspicious individual in the Hawthorne district. When the officers stopped the individual, his identity was determined to be Harris Kellen. I hadn't been feeling well at home for a while. I thought going outside for a bit would help me relax. I went out without even checking the time. While walking, I saw a police vehicle and remembered the curfew at that moment. I panicked. I was afraid of getting fined, so I didn't comply with their instructions. I was just scared. So it sounds like he broke curfew, but then ran away from the police. Okay, well, I guess that's pretty cut and dry then. What would that be under? No. Violation of restrictions. 6 months public service and $1,000 fine. Wow, that's quite the hefty fine for going out for a walk at nighttime, but 6-month public service and $1,000 fine. What do you have to say? Why did you resist the police from taking action? Because I thought I could explain myself. I didn't want to let the police write a ticket without telling them what happened that night. You say we were feeling unwell. In that case, why didn't you call the emergency line? Didn't occur to me at that moment. Leaving home seemed like the only option. I couldn't even stop to think. Well, that seems odd. Okay, well, unfortunately, I believe that you are going to have to be fined, sir. You definitely did break curfew, and you resisted the police after as well, so there's not a lot I can do to help you. Oh, this must be my family. Hello, wife, son, daughter. I guess I can't talk to any of you. Oh, I can talk to the cat. Apparently my family doesn't want to talk to me. I have no money. Go outside. Oh, I can go to the casino or the bar. I have no money though, so I guess there's not much point in that. I guess I'll end the day. Bill passed. Convicts with a criminal record will now be given increased penalties. Okay. Hello. Charges possession and carrying drugs. The incident occurred in the evening during a routine ID check conducted by a patrol police unit on North Slate Avenue. During a frisk conducted on Sam McHale, who was stopped due to suspicious behavior, narcotic substances were found. Further investigation found no record of the individual engaging in drug trafficking. However, it was assessed that the substance was regularly obtained for personal use. He does have a criminal record. Yes, I had my substances on me. I don't deny that. I use them when I'm alone to clear my head, suppress insomnia, and organize my thoughts. Didn't sell them to anyone, and I didn't harm anyone. My life has been off track for a long time. This substance feels like an escape, but I also know that that's not an excuse. Well, I guess that's pretty cut and dry as well. Possession and carrying drugs. What other evidence do we have? 5 milligrams of cocaine. All right. What do you have to say for yourself? Why did the police stop you? I was just going home. When I saw the officers, I remembered I had some substances on me and panicked. Changed direction, but I guess that made me look even more suspicious. Where did you get the drugs? I don't even properly know his name. We have a very superficial acquaintance. Where did you meet this person? At a place called the Copper Lantern Bar on the lower side of the city. We don't have a special connection. We just ran into each other there. Narcotics crimes. Possession and carrying. 10 months public service. Aggravated. Oh, that's aggravated because he has a criminal record. So 18 months public service and a $5,000 fine. 18 months and a $5,000 fine. Doing drugs is not an escape. It is not an excuse. And you're going to have to learn the hard way. Hello, family. Would you like to speak to me now? No? Still nothing? Well, at least the cat pays attention to me. Still no money, I see. All right, I guess we're going to sleep. Hello. Tom Braxley. No criminal record. Assassination. In the evening hours, the lifeless body of a company CEO, Marcel Hadrick, was found in the trunk of his vehicle in the underground parking lot in the Norvac Industries building. The fact that the security system was disabled at the time of the incident indicates that this was a planned assassination. When the incident was discovered, the only attendant present in the parking lot, Tom Braxley, was detained. First statement was taken from him. I just started my shift about 2.5 hours ago. During my routine patrol, I still saw the CEO's car in the parking lot, which didn't seem strange to me. But I noticed that the trunk was completely open. When I approached, I saw Mr. Hadrick laying motionless inside. First thing that caught my eye was a red rose placed on him, as if someone had deliberately left it there. I immediately contacted headquarters via radio and reported the incident. Okay, well, it doesn't necessarily sound like he's guilty then. Oh, what the... There we go. Oh. A lot of evidence is lost as a result of anarchist attacks on our state. In order to ensure the security of the evidence in the case, we'll deliver the evidence to you in a device we call Cryptex. We designed the passwords on this device so that only you can solve them. And remember, if you try to open it 3 times before the green light turns on, Cryptex will destroy the evidence. Oh, okay. Well, that makes much more sense. Nylon-covered steel rope located next to the vehicle's rear tire and the red rose. This feels very much like an assassination, but I don't feel like this guy is guilty. Isn't a card required to enter the company parking lot? How do you think the killer could have gotten inside? I checked the system records and there is no card scan visible since the moment I started my shift. I think the killer disabled the system remotely. Do you have any personal relationship with the CEO? No, I joined the company only 2 months ago. I've only seen him from a distance. We had no arguments and no contact. I don't think that this guy is guilty. No digital evidence. He doesn't seem like there's anything tying him to this. He just happens to be the one that found the body. I'm gonna say he's not guilty. I may become regretful of that decision, but we'll see, I guess. Oh, I get paid. Salary payment, house rent, shopping bills. Oh my goodness. I guess I'll withdraw the little bit that I have left. I have $100 left after my income. Hello, family. Oh, my daughter wants to speak to me finally. Daughter asks you for $100 for her school fees. Your sanity will drop if you don't accept. You haven't talked to me all week, and now you just want money from me? Well, if it's for her schooling, I suppose I'm gonna have to give it to her, right? Are you going to talk to me now? Not even a thank you? Not one of you want to speak to me other than to get money from me. Fine. Oh, I have 2 people here now. Criminal record for this one is yes. Mason Rourke. And Derek Caldwell does not have a criminal record. Auto theft. The vehicle owned by Rob Singer, who was parked overnight in the parking lot of his apartment building, disappeared by morning without leaving any trace. Following the report made by Rob Singer, the vehicle located and stopped by patrol units. Following the identification process, the driver of the vehicle was identified as Mason Rourke, previously known as Tiny M, who has a criminal record for vehicle theft. I have no information about how my vehicle was stolen. Clearly those who did it were professional thieves. The police said they left no traces at all. The only thing I'm certain about is that my car was locked. Mason Rourke, aka Tiny M. Early in the morning, an old friend of mine, Derek Caldwell, called me. He said there was an urgent package that needed to be delivered and that he was unavailable. I immediately went to his house to help. He opened the door and handed me a package and a car key. I didn't know the vehicle was stolen. As soon as I set off, I encountered a police checkpoint. That's where I learned the vehicle was stolen. Following the statement of Mason Rourke, Derek Caldwell has been taken into custody. Everyone who is involving me in this incident is making a mistake. Everything Mason said is a lie. I have nothing to do with that vehicle or any theft. Mason is trying to drag me into this, but I did nothing. Interesting. I don't know if I trust this Derek. I know he has no criminal record and Mason does, but it feels like it would be a pretty easy thing to do to set up your friend that has a criminal record. There we go. Cigar, scissors, and box found in the vehicle. Fingerprint number from the evidence. There is digital evidence on the tablet. 2122354. 21223. Oh. 354. So it's Derek's fingerprints that are on this. And there's digital evidence as well. No facial recognition. Okay, so I'm going to say that Mason is in fact innocent. Auto theft. Derek, you are going to be charged. Where were you the night the car was stolen? I was with my friends that night. We were a bit drunk and hanging out. I'd been drinking until late. I woke up in the morning when Derek called. Does Derek Caldwell call you very often? I'm not sure what you mean by very frequent, but we would talk 2 or 3 times a month. I must state that I'm retired from these matters now. These days, I work a regular job. When did you meet Mason Rourke? We attended the same school, elementary school. Then we both dropped out of elementary school. Mason says that you gave him a stolen vehicle and asked him to deliver a package using that vehicle. Is that true? Mason is slandering me. Fixing the mistakes in his life is not my responsibility. Yeah, you don't seem to be giving a whole lot of information here. Auto theft. 2 years in jail. I guess it's not aggravated because he's new to this. But Derek, you are going to be charged with auto theft. And Mason, you will be released. Because I believe that you are innocent in this. My family still does not want to talk to me, I see. Well, at least my cat likes me. And I'm still poor. Breaking news. State of emergency declared. Due to the recent increase in anarchist activity, government has declared a state of emergency. What is happening? State of emergency declared. Due to the state of emergency, judges can now be appointed to all types of cases. Oh. What kind of cases was I... Oh, what's happening here? This looks like a custody battle? Determining which parent will be granted custody of 11-year-old Liam Renard and his 8-year-old sister Elena Renard. The couple Mara and Jacob Renard officially divorced about 2 weeks ago. After the divorce, no agreement could be reached regarding custody of their 2 children, Liam and Elena. So the mother Mara filed a custody lawsuit. The father, Jacob, was deemed unfit to take full-time care of the children due to long-standing anxiety disorder, intermittent anger control problems, and unstable living conditions. Although the mother Mara is loving towards the children, she's been in serious financial difficulty recently, has had to work 2 different jobs. The home conditions are modest. However, the report on ability to meet the children's needs evaluated the situation negatively. Interesting. How did your parents' separation affect you? At first, I felt terrible. There was a constant tension at home, but But after they divorced, the arguments stopped, so I felt a bit relieved. Still sad that my dad is left alone, though. Would you rather live with your mother or your father? I don't want to be separated from my sister Elena. We can live together with our mom. Our mom isn't in a good financial situation, but I can work and support her. What a good child. How is your relationship with your father? I love my dad too, but sometimes he gets very angry. My sister gets scared, and I wish they had never separated. Would your family fight in front of you? Yes, they were shouting at each other. Do you love your mom more or your dad? That's a hard question to ask a child. I don't want to choose. I love them both. Good child. If you had to make a choice, who would it be? Please don't separate me from my big brother. Okay, well, the dad does look a little disheveled as well. So I need to keep the children together. Son with the mother, this is going to separate them. I don't think they need to both go to the father. Insufficient child to be placed in foster care. I guess the best decision here would be to place them with the mother. My family still doesn't want to talk to me. Perfect. Chris Teomond. Criminal record. Assassination. In recent weeks, sanitation workers collecting trash in the city center came across the lifeless body of Fred J. Haldren, the CEO of Glenmore Company, among the garbage. Another CEO. Interesting. The autopsy report determined that there were no signs of assault and that the death occurred as a result of prolonged oxygen deprivation. So he was strangled. According to the last meeting record in his daily calendar, the person Fred was with him on the evening before his death was company board member Chris Teomond. After the evening meeting, we left the company together and went to our usual bar. We stayed for about 2 hours. He drank, seemed a bit withdrawn, and didn't want to talk. Then I dropped him off at his home. I don't know where he went after that. He was a good friend. It never crossed my mind that he would meet such an end. The cleaning worker who found the body. There was a black tarp over the trash container. When I lifted it, I saw the body of a man lying there in a navy blue suit. The body was slightly bruised, and there was a red rose on it. So this is the same assassin as the last one. I thought things like this only happened in movies, so Chris has got to be innocent then. I just hope that the person I released last time was actually innocent and I didn't screw that up. But I don't think he would have had any connection to this guy. Steel wire and a red rose. Interesting. Okay. Well, then I feel like he's got to be innocent. How long had you known Fred Haldren? Been working at the same company for about 8 years, but we were relatively close only the last 2. Did he have any enemies or anyone threatening him inside or outside the company? I don't think so, Your Honor. He was someone who got along well with people. While you were at the bar, did he mention if anywhere he was going that evening? Unfortunately, he only said, "Take me home. I'm very tired." I don't think that he did it. I think there's somebody bigger here at play. As a result of the decisions you made in the cases, we decided to raise your salary. This week you'll earn $700. Wonderful. Maybe I'll actually have some money left over. $200 after. Perfect. Support to decision. I'm really relieved at last. Congratulations. The country needs such honest judges. Cleared our conscience. Absolutely. Well, it seems like the public seems to agree with me. My family still doesn't want to talk to me. Okay. Hello. Olmar Crate, criminal record, and Sean Holland. No criminal record. Threat, malicious wounding. In recent weeks at the home of Olmar Crate, his friend Sean Hallen sustained a stab wound to the ribs during a violent altercation between them. Oh, Sean's the one that got the injury. Okay. Olmar claims that his friend Sean stabbed him over a debt dispute. Immediately after the incident occurred, the individual named Sean Hallen left the scene. Following the complaint filed by Olmar, Sean Hallen was apprehended in his family home. So let me get this straight. The home of his friend Sean sustained a stab wound. Omar claims that his friend Sean stabbed him over a debt dispute. I had been having disputes with Sean for some time. I couldn't repay the money I borrowed from him on time. He threatened me at every opportunity to get his money back. When he came to my house on the day of the incident, he was extremely angry and out of control. As soon as I opened the door, he started insulting me. He came at me with a knife, and while I was pushing him away, the knife stabbed into my rib. If it had gone a little higher, I could have died. After he fled, I grabbed my phone and immediately contacted the police. Sean, it's true that I argued with Omar about the debt, but I was not the one who attacked. He was. That day, I wanted to go to his house and talk calmly. I told him that my situation was bad and that he needed to give me the money back now. Heated argument broke out between us, and he ran and grabbed a knife from the kitchen. While I was trying to take the knife from his hand, he fell on it and it stabbed his rib. I fled the scene because I was scared. So you're telling me he stabbed himself? I was almost with you for a minute, but... Oh no, what is this? Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Well, that was easy. Not. Okay. Fingerprint number from the evidence, 21227. Oh, here we go. Phone conversation between them. Sean, give me my money. Sean, you're crossing the line. I said I'd pay you. Stop pressuring me. Shut up, you bastard. Let's see if you can talk like that when you're face to face with me. Oh, you need to calm down a bit. I'm starting to see the bigger picture here. If you don't pay by next week, you'll be a dead man. Okay, Sean. 21227 is Sean's, I'm assuming? Yes. How close were you to Sean Hallen? I wouldn't say we were very close. We were just drinking buddies at the bar, that's all. Did you take the knife from the kitchen, or did he bring it? The knife belonged to him. I never held it in my hand. Did he threaten you often? Almost every day, Your Honor. Were you threatening the individual named Omar Crate? No, Your Honor. I only tried to scare him so he would pay the money. Was the knife stabbed in while it was in your hand? No, Your Honor. The knife was always with him. Interesting. Then how would you like to explain your fingerprints on it? Threat and malicious wounding. Malicious wounding is 8 years in jail. And what about threat? 2 years in jail. And he's not aggravated, right? No. So 10 years total for Sean. And Omar, I believe you're innocent. Just of not paying back your debts. Hello, family. I'd like to point out that it's week 3 and my family has not talked to me once, other than my daughter asking for money. It's not the most loving family ever. Bill passed. Criminals who are not mentally well will be sent for treatment instead of punishment. Hello, sir. You look a little disheveled. You are positive for a mental health test? Is that good or bad then? Negative mental health test. Okay. Owen Blackridge. Charges willful damage to public property. In recent weeks, numerous complaints have been received about dents and scratches appearing on newly installed benches by the Harrowfield municipality. Municipal teams investigated the situation, replaced the bench with a new one to prevent further damage, deployed a covert operation team in the area. Following day around noon, Owen Blackridge sat on the new bench and shortly after took a sharp object out of his pocket and began scraping the surface. At that point, the cops intervened and took the individual into custody. I should say that I've been doing this for years without realizing it. When I'm stressed, my hand always goes into my pocket, and I fidget with that small knife-like object. Over time, this habit got out of control. I knew I was damaging the benches, but I truly never thought it was a crime. It was an impulse I couldn't even stop myself from acting on. Well, your mental health test says that you're just fine. Regardless of whether you feel like you can control it or not, you're willfully damaging property. Oh, wow. That's a lot of damage to a brand new bench. That's an awful lot of sharp objects as well that you're carrying around. Why are you carrying around such dangerous objects? You said the behavior was an impulse you couldn't control. Have you considered getting support for this? Yes, Your Honor, because these events caused even more stress for me. Do you think this behavior will continue? No, I don't know. Probably yes. Well, unfortunately, willful damage to public property is 12 months public service. You're not criminal record? No. Guilty public service, 12 months. Well, hello there. Music production company Aurelia Soundworks alleges that Intertone Audio committed copyright infringement by using the rhythm bass of their compositions without permission. Interesting. There's digital evidence for this case. This could be interesting. Aurelia Soundworks announced that to the public a new single they had worked on for about a month. Just 48 hours after the track was released, Intertone Audio announced the new music project. Fans of both companies noticed similarities in the instrumental backing, and debates began on social media. Following this, Aurelia Soundworks stated that the rhythmic arrangements, harmonic structures, and sound design were copied one-to-one. Therefore, Intertone Audio is being asked to pay $5 million US in copyright damages. Aurelia's lawyer. My clients worked on this track for weeks, tried hundreds of mix variations, and ultimately brought the work to an original point. However, in the track Intertone Audio released shortly after, it is understood that Aurelia's characteristic instrumental foundation was also used almost identically. Our complaint is not similarity. It is the unauthorized copying of my client's labor. We demand compensation to remedy this violation. We do not believe the similarities that emerge constitute intentional copying. In modern electronic music, similar rhythmic structures and sound designs are frequently seen. The audio engineers within my client, Intertone Audio, used a backing track they created from scratch entirely in their own studios. Similar drums and synth patterns can be heard across dozens of companies in the market. For this reason, we find the claims of copyright infringement unfounded. Okay, well, let's go listen, I guess. So this is Aurelia Soundworks. Okay. And this is Intertone. Interesting. I can definitely hear the similarity in the bass level beat, but I don't think that it copied it. See, this part here does kind of sound similar, but then it gets into all this and it sounds different. I don't think that... I could be very wrong on this, but I don't believe that they copied it. I don't believe any compensation is required. I gotta say, raise again. Perfect. Oh, my son finally wants to talk to me. Do you want more money as well? Son says his clothes are getting old. He wants $300 for new clothes? I've only got $500. That's over half of what I have. You do not need a completely new wardrobe, especially when you haven't talked to me in 3 weeks. Forget it. That dropped my sanity. It's ridiculous. Okay, well, whatever. It's not that important. Hospital report. Patient Eli Miller. Major depression. Compensation lawsuit filed by Joe Miller against Sony Software Digital Company. Plaintiff Joe Miller states that his 14-year-old daughter, Ellie Miller, began showing severe symptoms of depression shortly after playing the video game None of Us 2 by Sony. By Sony. And later later was no longer of the living. Plaintiff Miller claims that the game company is primarily responsible for his daughter's death and is seeking $1 million in moral damages. Additionally, they are requesting that the sale and distribution of the game be halted. Representing the defendant company attorney Alistair Rowe is present at the hearing. After my daughter started playing this game, she completely withdrew. Only the gloomy melodies of the game music came from under her bedroom door. She wouldn't eat and couldn't sleep at night. After a while, she began acting as if she wasn't herself anymore at home. When we took her to the hospital, she was diagnosed with major depression. 2 weeks later, her mother found her in her bed with pillboxes. We learned from the doctors that it was already too late. That's horrible. I don't know if you can blame a game for this, though. Our company does not accept such allegations regarding our project. Before release, our game was clearly marked with an age restriction of 18. The plaintiff's daughter does not meet this requirement. The real fault lies in providing the game to a child despite the age restriction. Furthermore, there is no evidence that our game caused this illness. As horrible as a situation as this is, I'm kind of leaning towards the game company. Unfortunately, the child was underage. They bought it for her when they shouldn't have. And you can't solely blame a video game for a child's depression. Your daughter did not meet the game's age requirement. Why did you not prevent her from playing it? Your Honor, when the game was released, my daughter begged me for days to buy it. She said, "Dad, everyone is playing it. I'm falling behind." As her father, I couldn't say no. But no one could have imagined the child would be dragged into such darkness. Mr. Rowe, what is your defense? Your Honor, we are aware that the continuation of the series is somewhat emotional. For this reason, we released the game as 18 and above. This is not a game suitable for everyone, but we were encountering such a case for the first time. I don't believe that this is their fault. As horrible of a tragedy as it is, I don't think that the game did anything wrong. They listed it as 18 plus, as they should have, because they felt that it wasn't safe for children. He continued to buy it anyways for his child. And then they didn't help her after she started becoming depressed. I don't think that that's something that the game should be penalized for. Hello, loving family. I'm just kidding. You're all awful. Big operation to a cartel. Members of the Cassia cartel were caught smuggling drugs across the border. Interesting. Am I going to have to be part of that case? We're offering you $500 to release Jared Alderson and Marcus Byrne. This money will make your job easier and ensure that you are not influenced by the decision you make. Are you trying to bribe me? Well, clearly these two are guilty then. I do not take kindly to being bribed. You have a criminal record, so do you. Drug trafficking, taking part in organized criminal activities. Near midnight, a specially prepared hidden compartment was detected in the rear section of the van that was stopped for a routine traffic check. During the search of the hidden compartment, a large quantity of narcotics were seized. Upon examining the identities of the two individuals in the vehicle, it was determined that both were connected to the Carceria cartel. The way this was organized was not ours. Someone within the cartel must have made a deal with the police. They put us forward as bait. The ones who sent us here wanted us to get caught. I don't know if we'd talk if we were punished. But I'm sure the mafia is involved in this. This shipment was not normal. There were supposed mafia connections who said they would clear the way. They sat at the same table with us and gave guarantees. Clearly a higher offer was made to the other side. They sold us out and increased their own share. I don't know who made the deal with the police, but someone deliberately set this up. They'll pay for it. So they're not even denying that they're guilty. Was seized after the operation. Surgic acid. 9 liters of gamma hydroxybutyrate. 25 kilograms of cocaine. And 2 submachine guns. Okay, well this is clearly a pretty serious operation. What do you two have to say for yourselves? Based on your statement, I believe you may become an informant. Will you cooperate? You're thinking very wrongly. Who is the mafia you mentioned in your statement? Are you not going to turn them in? Don't worry, our people will make them pay. If you cooperate, we can protect you. Are you considering helping us? You talk too much. Make your decision already so we can leave. Okay, well... Drug trafficking, taking part in organized criminal activities. Okay, so 24 years in jail and a $750,000 fine. 24 years in jail. 24 and 24, so 48 years in jail and a $750,000 fine. 750,000 and 48 years in jail. I have a sneaking suspicion you're not going to last 48 years, though. I wonder if that increases my chances of getting assassinated. Hello, family that still does not want to talk to me. Wonderful. I think I'm going to finish this week and then I'll call it for today. Oh, it didn't increase that. Hello there. Lana Winter, no criminal record. Theo Markle called a phone number listed in an online advertisement, assumed the person on the other end was a sex worker, offered a paid sexual encounter. During the phone calls, Lana Winter requested a specific fee and said the money should be sent via bank transfer. After Markle paid the fee, he received no response from the other side and realized that the number had blocked him. He reported the situation to the police and filed a complaint. Following the complaint, Lana Winter was identified and detained at her residence. I've been living alone for about 3 years. I haven't been close to anyone for a long time, and it started to wear on me psychologically. While browsing online, I came across a phone number. The profile clearly implied that services were being offered. When I called, the woman told me her rate and asked me for payment via bank transfer. I immediately sent the $200. After I sent the receipt, she stopped reading my messages. A few minutes later, I realized the number had blocked me. It's not about the money. I couldn't stomach being made a fool of. That's why I filed a complaint. That's completely understandable. I'm not a sex worker. If I were, I wouldn't hide it. When my phone rang, a man I didn't know directly asked my rate. In that moment, I thought it was a joke or trolling. So I got angry and said my rate is $200 an hour. Minutes later, when I saw the money actually came into my account, I didn't understand what was happening. I blocked the number because it scared me. My intention was not to scam anyone, and I didn't force anyone to send me money. If you were doing it as a joke, then you wouldn't have given him your information to send the money to. Oh, not this one again. Now $200 from Theo to Lana. The receipt, the money sent by Theo Markle. Oh, phone call recording. Hi. Hey, baby. That doesn't sound like she's surprised and concerned. What is your fee? $200 per hour, $500 per night. Which one do you want? That also does not sound like she's joking around. An hour, please. How do I make the payment? You can transfer it to the bank account I'm going to send. All right, then I'm waiting for you to send your bank account information. Yeah, I'm sorry, Lana, but it's not looking great for you here. When you answered the phone, why didn't you introduce yourself and say it was a misunderstanding? First, I thought it was a malicious prank. I didn't take it seriously. Then why did you call him baby? Why didn't you try to return the money that came in your account? Why should I return it when some idiot sent it? Well, that's not helping your case any, I should say. Okay, what is this? Fraud. Theft crimes? Fraud. 4 years in jail. You have not had a criminal record? No. Well, Lana, you're going to be spending the next 4 years in jail. I don't think you're going to be getting paid for your services there. As a result of the decisions you made, we raised your salary. Wonderful. I actually have some money left over. So we're up to $900. Wonderful. And nobody's going to try and ask me for anything. Perfect. Well, we're at the end of week 4, so I think 12 cases is a lot for today. I think we're going to end it here. I am enjoying this, though. I'm very curious to see what's happening with that assassin with the red rose. I do like that some of the cases are not as cut and dry as you would expect either. That audio case was very interesting. So I hope you guys enjoyed this as well. If you did, make sure to let me know down in the comments below if you'd like me to play some more of it. I'd be happy to play again if you would like. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, bye!